Hey, I'm Dan, and this is Dan's Planes. Here we are back with the Mustang again. After one flight, the engine did well. I'll probably post the flight. The engine did well on the ground, it did well up in the air, so I don't know why it dead sticked previously, causing the major repair of the wings and replacement of a Sierra strut and so on. But it seems to be working now. But when I landed, I didn't think I landed bad again, out at the pecan patch, and yet I did. It started bouncing on me, which I couldn't get under control either. But now, after breaking the majority of this side of the wing, which is the right side, now the left side has broken. So it's cracked here, it's cracked here, same place that it cracked over on the other side. And it's cracked along here. It's cracked all along here. So this whole section is pulling away from the wing. So I've removed the covering that I previously put on, and now I'm cutting away a section to try to see what's going on in there. But ultimately I can put the cowl and front end back on because the engine seems to be okay, but now I've broken the other side of the wing. Good times. Princess and I are back. Yep. On the P-51 wing repair number 3. So I've taken off all the sheeting I needed to. I had cracks through here to fix. I had to replace this piece here. I also put in some corner stock for reinforcing. Had to re-glue a lot of points along the side, epoxy along here, glued that crack, put in a triangle stock there. I'm going to put this piece in next, and I probably will do another triangle stock just for extra reinforcement on these dang retracts. And then had some gluing to do around here, 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 and there was a hairline crack here, and then cracked here. So I think all that's left is to get this in place, glue it, do the triangle stock, and then I can move onward to the sheeting. These retracts have been repaired so many times, and when I did the second repair, which was the major repair, I didn't do the job of making sure that the retracts would be mounted aligned properly. So I did all the rebuilding and made it look as close to factory as possible, but I didn't check the actual alignment and angles of the landing gear. So now they're kind of cockeyed. So I don't know how that affects my landing, but I'll try to get a video of that next time I get it all put together to fly. Here, the last repair is made. So I put that in, put the triangle stock in. I went through and removed about a 1/4 inch of monocoat around all the edges, because after I put the medium glue in there, there's going to be some sanding to do. So don't want to be sanding up against monocoat. Then I laid the pieces back in here the way they go to get an idea of what I've got and what's missing, like that section up there, before I glue all this back together. So we're almost on the home stretch here. Now the sheeting has been added back, filled in any gaps. Actually, I see one I missed, a gap right there. I went through, glued everything, hit it with kicker, sanded it down, then went back through it again and looked where I needed to still refill some of the gap with the medium CA, and refilled that, and I'm just letting it dry naturally. And then come back, sand it again, And then it's time for wood filler, smooth it out. And then we cover and we're done. So we are on the downside of the hill for sure. Here's the wood filler applied. So now I'm just waiting for it to dry. Then come back and sand it. Then we wipe off the airplane, the desktop, get my cutting mat up there and put on monocoat. On covering this, I'm going to try an experiment and try something new. Curves like this can be difficult to get the monocoat stretched out and wrinkle free and no bubbles and all that. So usually I would do two pieces. I would do a bottom piece and then you do your top piece. What I'm trying is putting a piece in the middle, and it's a little short over here, but that's okay. This is just an experiment. And this is a scrap piece that I had. So I'm just trying to put this down. So if where the two seams were to meet, I don't have to be as exact in making sure that they cover each other, because this piece will be there. So we'll see if it turns out to be bubbly. We'll see if it's even necessary, because maybe I'll get the curves stretched out enough. But we'll try it and see what happens. So here's the top, and I didn't realize that I had scraps of two different kinds of silver. One is a little more bright, and then one is the color of the P-51. So I was thinking that it was just difference in the lots when monocoat was manufactured, but nope, it's different color silver, maybe left over from my Hanger 9 P-47, I don't know. But hey, maybe it'll look like a panel line. So the curve turned out okay. It's pretty much following the wood, which the wood is not perfect. So that's why you'll see some dips or grooves. So I didn't have any bubbles or wrinkles, anything like that. I did have to use my small cornering tool, which is at a little higher temperature, to really shrink it around that curve, but was able to get it. So I didn't need to put that little piece down first. But hey, it was a good experiment. So I'll flip it over and show you the other side. Okay, so here's this side. All right, here's this side. And I went to put on the gear cover and found an issue. There should have been a piece of wood there, but there was not a piece of wood in my pile of wood that I kept from when I removed all the wood sheeting. So I've got to go in there and sheet it and then monocoat it again. So that's a bummer, but not a big deal. This turned out nice. Here you see the two-tone. See how much brighter this one is. But this turned out nice. I'll take it. No one will be able to see it in the air, and on the ground it'll be underneath, but I don't think people could really see it unless they were looking for it. So all in all, fix that last section and then show a final product. Oh, also wanted to show, this is helpful for people. I made this little wing cradle, just out of PVC and spare foam. You just cut it in a rough shape of a wing, and that's been real handy to keep the wing off of the table so you're not scuffing it up, and to keep it straight and level, keep it from sliding around on the desk. All right, that's all. Here we go, a final finished product. Finally, the Mustang is ready to fly. I had to have the muffler re-welded, and the last flight I had, it became loose, but we changed something. I know I put lock washers in. I don't know if we changed the screws, but anyway, I've got to test it with the cowl off, make sure the muffler's not going to get loose. I think maybe I was going to try to do a gasket on it. I can't remember now. But all in all, the Mustang is ready to fly, and just keep a lookout on the muffler. Here's something you don't see every day. Clean workbenches. It's kind of nice having things cleaned off for once. But they'll be immediately filled by something else. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dan from Dan's Planes. I just want to share some content about RC planes, something I've been passionate about since childhood. I'm hoping I can teach something to someone, I can start some discussion and learn some things from others. So let's just have some fun and learn some things together. If you enjoyed what you watched, it would really help me out if you could like, subscribe, and share. And if you feel that it helped you out in some way, or it might help future viewers, I'd really appreciate it if you'd visit my Patreon page and become a patron. It's like throwing a dollar tip into a guitar case when you pass by. It helps to fund future content and future projects that I'll be working on. I plan to show some past content. I have some other flights and I have some fly-in events that I've been to. And I also plan to show future flights and future repairs, as well as building ARFs, and if I can ever get back to it, building my top flight Spitfire. So there's a lot of content to come, but it's viewers like you that are able to support what I'm doing, and by doing that, I'm able to spend more time creating that content in the future. So I'd really appreciate it. But either way, thanks for watching, and thanks for any support, and I wish you blue skies and good speed.